The Easter events have made their way to Tower Unite, so that means that there's now 2 new events that we can compete in for all sorts of new prizes. The main event that we're looking for is the Easter egg hunt. This is an event that spawns in here on these stores as well as the tower lobby. Every now and then, a whole bunch of Easter eggs will appear around these areas. The eggs are typically in these little areas of grass here, so you gotta keep your eyes open and just look around for them. You can also sometimes see the eggs in the stores, so feel free to check those out too, as well as just in front of these benches and on top of these little pillars. Here's an egg here, so we can collect it, and we get certain items. Make sure to also check out the central circuit. I've had plenty of eggs spawn inside here too, all the way over to this location. They could spawn in pretty far. You can also sometimes have some eggs that spawn above the ground too, so make sure that you keep your head up and just keep an eye out for them. When you're in the lobby, the eggs don't really spawn in over on these sides here, but you can have them spawn occasionally at the very front entrance here, right by these steps, or where the fountain is. They can also spawn over here by the escalators, so make sure to check this place out as well. Make sure to grab all of them in each of these little grass areas and keep your eyes open for them. Nothing in here right now, but there are some in the store, so there could be some on the shelves. Make sure you pick those up. Your best little path is just to circle around where all the stores are and get all the eggs in these little patches. They tend to come in groups, so keep an eye open and just make sure that you're paying attention. They can hide under these little leaves and stuff pretty easily, so getting a different angle too is always a good way of looking at it. At the back of each store, you also have these grass patches, which also have some eggs. Keep your eyes open too, because the eggs can spawn on this little pillar, just like this one. Occasionally, eggs do tend to spawn a little bit in the air. I don't know why, it's probably the Easter Bunny who put them there. He does work in mysterious ways. And finally, make sure to check above the stores here. So over at this area where all the backers are, you can also find some more eggs just over here. Doesn't mean they spawn here every time, but there is a good chance that you can find 1 or 2. The same goes for the other side, right by the Season's Greetings. You can look over in this area and try and find some more eggs. The eggs last for about 5 minutes. They're essentially the exact same thing as the Buried Treasure event, so you need to be fast when they spawn in. And the items that these eggs have in them are as follows. You can get the Always Lucky slot machines, you can get a bag of units, the Easter event basket, you can get a bunny-themed cat sack, a pile of units, which is not worth that much, but you can get a whole bunch of them. You can get the rabbit plushie, another Easter event item. You get some silver cat sacks, which are always nice, and also treasure chests of units, which are very valuable also. On top of that, you could also get some rare items, the vanity piece of the Easter Bunny ears, which can be found in the appearance section. Just go to the accessories, and it's the one under the hats. You can see them right here. And the final items are the throwable Easter eggs. These are what you can equip in your hotbar underneath the toys section. You can have them right here. I think that these are the most rare items that you can get. It took me a few tries to get them, and I had a whole bunch of every other item before I was able to get one of those. The Easter basket looks just like this, and you can throw the eggs just like that. Also, for some strange reason, I find it quite satisfying when you throw these eggs. You can see that they actually interact with each other. Those ones all came down, but if you throw them straight up, you can actually have them break on each other. I find it really satisfying, and I'm not too sure why, but it's just kind of fun to do. And here's a closer look at the items that you can get from the Easter eggs. The cat sacks themselves cannot be opened, but just like the other arcade toys and plushies, you can interact with them. In a similar way, you can also interact with the bunny. You can also change the bunny's color, but it only changes the color of his nose, so his fur stays the exact same color no matter what. The basket can also be changed. The other event that takes place is the Easter Egg Fall. This takes place here in the minigame arena, and has a bunch of eggs that fall down, and you have to catch them. It's a pretty basic game. I tend to find more success playing this game in third person. It's a little bit easier to see everything that's around me and figure out where everything is at. Also, make sure when you're running for the eggs, try and prioritize the golden eggs because they're worth more points. And you can also keep an eye on the shadows. Where every egg is falling, there's a shadow underneath it. That's exactly where you need to stop in order to collect the egg. The faster you collect the eggs, the more points you can get. I've also tried a few times to jump and collect these eggs. I find that works almost never, so staying at the ground here at ground level, a little bit easier. If you jump, it's just you're moving a little bit too fast and it's a little bit harder to time. Maybe you can get it to work though. And there we go, 1,760. It's a pretty low scoring game in general, but with a little practice I could probably get that to well over 2,000, so it takes a little bit of time to get better at it, but that's just how these games work. And so there we go, a very simple update to Tower Unite, just a little Easter event with a couple good items and a couple new things to do. Nothing too crazy, but this event is still pretty fun all the same. From what I've been able to hear, this event will continue until the 8th of April, so by the time this video goes up, there's still a few days left to get these eggs and get all these items. And until next time, thank you again for watching, and have a happy Easter.